Hey, what's up, everybody? This is DJ Keo, and today I saw the craziest thing on the internet, and I actually, it turns out it's actually true. And I thought how this relates to DJs and the future of DJing. So it's not quite, future of DJing part two yet. I'm gonna make that sometime in the future, but uh, this the story is so insane. Like it started my mind just rolling, thinking of ideas and stuff like that. First things first, let's get the story out of the way. So Warner Brothers, the movie studio, excuse me, has announced that they're planning to use AI to make decisions about their movie business, what types of movies they're gonna approve, and how much the budget's gonna be, and this kind of things. They're gonna run it through an algorithm and machine learning and all this mumbo jumbo, and figure out what kind of movies to make based on it. I thought that's the most insane dystopian horror thing I could ever imagine. But this kind of technology is going to creep forward into everything. It's already in, YouTube is using machine learning to figure out what types of videos you should see. Same thing with Spotify and Apple is doing the same thing. Like there's machine learning to point you to what types of apps to put on your phone. Like there's things going on in the background right now, and it's only a matter of time before it hits DJs. Let's be realistic here. There is this kind of stuff in software already that is giving suggestions for types of songs to play from your own library based on the BPM and the song title, and this kind of stuff is already reaching there. Spotify has just attempted to do some kind of thing with dance music where they're gonna mix the songs together, which is I think is kind of easy with dance music because most of that stuff's in the same tempo, like 128, 125 BPM, and it it starts with drums and it ends with drums. So like it's fairly easy to do that with some kind of computer program. But I this whole thing is fascinating to me because when we look at DJing is a thing that we can do because it's unique to us and each person has their own flavor. So now when you look at things like beat gridding and sync and all this kind of stuff into the actual DJing software, it's so much easier to do the blending and look like the most amazing DJ ever. As long as your playlist is right, any idiot can put two songs together. I mean, I'm just being real here. So like the thing that separates you from other people is how you play your songs and when you cut them out and how long you play them and what order. These are the only things that separate you from every other DJ. I've gone to a bunch of different clubs and heard all the DJs play the exact same songs, just in different order, and reading the crowd better and trying to figure out when is the best time to play this and when not to. And it's wild when you take a second to just view it as a fan or just somebody who respects the craft. Like it's a whole other beast. If you're just there dancing or you're just there judging a DJ, you're not going to see it. But if you take a step back and just see, everybody has the exact same tools. It's like an artist. Everybody's got clay, everybody's got a chisel and whatever you need to do your thing. Yada yada yada. And there's some people really good at putting these pieces together and some people not so good. The point is that everybody has the same tools. So when I thought about the AI and it's being implemented into the DJ community, the thing that strikes me most about it is that I don't think it's a pressing matter for right now. We are still in the age where club owners could care less about who's DJing as long as you're playing the music loud and you're not messing up too bad where people notice. I don't think clubs care because you look at it, our industry shifted from it used to be the DJ and the promoter brought people. Now it's the venue brings people and there's just some person back there playing songs. And this is why, clubs can pay somebody 50 bucks or a couple drink tickets. And a lot of people are happy to do it because you're not the person bringing the crowd to this venue. The venue's doing all the work itself. A lot of clubs where I'm at, they just because there's not a lot of things to choose from, like, it is what it is, and people just they gravitate toward these places because 'cause they're open. So, like, you're not doing any heavy lifting here. It's not to say that your parties won't fail if you don't advertise and this kinda thing, but, the heavy lifting is kinda off the DJ's shoulders where it used to be you were the draw, you were the reason you'd be there. And a lot of times, it's not even I know it's gonna sound contradictory, but a lot of times we have celebrity DJs where there's models that are DJing now and actors and everybody else doing that. And they're doing the heavy lifting and they make the club easier. So they're like, well, I'm going to spend time on this local DJ or this guy is supposed to be really good spinning vinyl or whatever, when I can just pay money to have, whatever actress or whatever model come down here and spin. And she's guaranteed to bring how many of her Instagram followers and this kind of thing. And these are the things that have completely upended the industry for us on our end. It's one of the reasons why, like, I just don't care about clubs anymore, and I just moved away from that. Actually, I quit first, and then I kinda got back into doing events with the corporate stuff and weddings, and that's been the bulk of my business ever since. Weddings is kind of a box where it's just you gotta play these songs in this order, in this kinda style, and it's kind of boring to me. The thing that I love the most, and I'm getting off topic, but I'll finish this point. The thing I love the most is that I love playing music from different cultures. I love that because it's more exciting and reading the crowd from different languages and just people from different countries, making them dance is more interesting to me than, you know, 400 Karens. Like, I don't know what to say about that, but I find that more interesting to me. Anyways, I had a point about all this, all right? AI being introduced to the DJ community is I don't think it's the end all be all, which is why I'm not as concerned about it as some people are. I know there's some people who think that, our days are numbered and we're going to be gone soon. The thing that's missing from the computer element picking the songs and mixing them together is just feeling. Computers can't do feeling. They can't vibe out a crowd. um when I'm doing events or whatever, I play I throw songs out there. I'm just feeling out the crowd, seeing what they respond to. I make notes about that. I actually have a notepad. Sometimes I write things down. Not really for a request, but, like, I when I notice things like, "Oh, you like that? Okay, you like this type of music. This genre is good. This year is good." And then I just build it from there, and then I know when I'm going to, like, do my big climax when it's party time, I can just go right to that and just and me do my party from that. But, you know, these types of things are not available to AI. If somebody who is playing a party or just you took a group of 25-year-olds and you had the computer algorithm choose the songs, when to play them, how to play them, and all that stuff. The computer algorithm can't see, oh, this is dead. and these songs in a row are failing because they're old now. We're not even that they're old. This order that used to work last week doesn't work this week, and that's happened to me before. I save every party I've ever done. I saved the playlist, and I've been lazy one day and I just played similar types of music and it bombed. And so I had to adjust on the fly. I had to figure this thing out and go back to what I normally do. And I treat it like I think it's more connected to comedians. You have some of the funniest comedians in the world, but their jokes and their punchlines may not work for every single crowd, even though on paper it says this is 35 to 40-year-olds and they're executives at whatever bank, whatever. These guys in this part of the country or this time of day may not relate to whatever you're talking about. And at that moment, the good comedians are looking at the crowd and they're like, well, this isn't working. So do some crowd work. Start talking about people's shoes. Talk about, start asking people questions in the crowd. Build their confidence back up, and you can do that from there. The same thing relates for DJs. We're looking at the crowd, we're reading the vibes, whatever. And it's that thing that allows us to read the really good DJs. This allows us to read what's happening here based on the information we have. And I don't think you can do that with the algorithm. I honestly don't. The algorithm just has these are 30 popular songs. This order seems to make people happier. But, you know, if you're doing a wedding and it's raining, what do you do then? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen brides that were happy as a clam. Second it started raining, the whole thing's shot to shit. Just the day is over, and you gotta pull out your spine and figure this sucker out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the algorithm is just not there. The other thing I think is interesting about the algorithm, to be honest, it technically is already there for music. Because the one thing about DJs is that we don't get to design unless you're a producer and you're playing your music. You know, you're basically you have to make this thing happen based on what's popular on the radio right now or what's popular on the internet, whatever, however format you play. But you're at the mercy of good producers and the industry being in a good space. These these all these factors you have no control over. And I honestly feel like we're in this bland, boring taupe egg salad mayonnaise thing right now with music. Music is garbage. I don't think it's ever been this bad before. I've been doing this a long time, and I honestly don't. I don't think it's ever been this bad. You know what? People said that in the '90s, in the '80s, when they used to listen to stuff in the '70s, whatever. But we're in this whole other age where there's no music. When I say music, like there's no feeling in the songs. Like think of what's the most popular song out right now. When do you remember what you were doing when you heard it? Do you remember what time of day it was? What kind of day it was? You remember any of these things? I bet you remember what you're doing when you heard Thriller. You know, I know what I was doing when I heard Rock the Bells from LL Cool J. Like I know exactly what I was doing. S There's these things, these factors of emotion that's just missing from the music industry right now because people are they're doing this algorithm type thing already. We're looking at, you know, people are being popular because of SoundCloud and, YouTube, and they could have fudged the numbers to make it look popular, and people were just like, "Oh, I guess it's popular now." But there's no thing to it, like, there's no feeling to it. So this is why I feel like the algorithm, it can't work for music like this. There's the there's the technical aspect of it where the algorithm is used right now to tell you this song is popular and to give them people the impression this song is popular. But when the algorithm does that, and I'm talking about YouTube and Spotify and all these things, and people do not get it twisted. I've been in the music industry for a long time. People juice these numbers to make them what they are. It's not a coincidence that Katy Perry was the number one artist in the world for a little while. It's not a coincidence that Taylor Swift was the number one artist in the world for a while. These people were chosen, all right? I don't want to get Alex Jones on this, but you know, in music industry, people have been picking and choosing the winners and losers and telling people this is the winners and losers. And when you get to a computer picking and choosing the winners or losers, we're already there. This is the same thing. But these winners and losers that we've been told these are the hits, these are the people to play, whatever. They don't last. They don't last at all. It could be a song for a couple weeks, could be a song for the summer, maybe. But next year, can you play that same song? No. Everyone's gonna look at you crazy. These things don't have any value long term. And this is my other skepticism. Can't say the word. Skepticism for the algorithm and AI and machine learning. And this is why I don't think it's going to hurt DJs, at least for the time being. Who's to say what's going to happen in 2100, whatever? But 2020 right now, I don't think it's anything to worry about. The other thing is interesting to me about that, and this is absolutely a ramble off the top of my head, so forgive me. And you know what? I appreciate you getting this far. So I had a point to all of this. The other thing that's interesting to me about the algorithm is that the music industry who makes special songs, the songs that stand out the most is because they are different. So if you think about the early 2010s, we were in a dance music craze. These songs were just cookie cutter. They all sound the same. They're all same tempo. A lot of the same producers, a lot of the same writers. They sang them the same way. And realistically, when you look back at it, there's only a couple people that had big hits that still stand the test of time to this day. Everybody else, I wouldn't even call them one hit wonders. They didn't even get that far. They were just a song that you heard in between the big songs that you liked. And the algorithm and the computer and machine learning, whatever, they can't see this left turn. A perfect example of this is the Outcast Speaker Box Level Below album. Um, that first of all, that album is completely left field. Like they took a hard left. It went diamond. Based on the type of music that was out at the time, it did not match. It didn't fit anything. The first single was I Like the Way You Move from Big Boy. That doesn't match anything. BPM was 128. Most things at that time was like 90 something, 95, 100, just for rap music and that kind of stuff. Here's this guy, 128. And it's slow and fast at the same time. So, you know what I'm saying? Like it was out there. And then the second single, Hey Ya, which is like is another song. It was like 70, I think it's 80 BPM. Totally incompatible with anything out there. Algorithm was not going to select this type of artist or this type of album to put out or pick these songs as the first single. Um, I I can't see that. That human element of creativity and emotion and just that energy to do something that's different is it won't be there. And so you artists like Billie Eilish, like I think that's kind of left field. Like people love it right now. We'll see how long that lasts. That's a whole other topic. But the point is, it's left field. You look at Cardi B and City Girls and all this kind of stuff. Um, this is not left field. This is by design. Somebody picking and choosing the winners and losers here to make the left turn to be like, well, I'm going to do something that's 50 BPM, whatever the tempo is, but just to look at it and say, I'm going to do something totally different. That isn't there because the music industry's mind isn't there. I'm just rambling. Anyways, like my point was is that I don't think this type of technology is going to affect DJs for the time being. After this long ramble, 18-hour long ramble, this is the point I was making overall. So if you want to leave a comment below to, hey, just get to the end and he's going to make his point, you can do that. That's fine. That's totally fine with me. Um, but realistically, that's how I look at this thing right now. That's not to say that, oh, DJs are safe because we are not safe. We are endangered species based on how expensive it is to get into it, um, the lack of venues and the lack of people. Because we're looking at an age where people are going to clubs now, but the rug could be cut from under us at any moment. Same thing with the movie industry. People are going to the theaters now, but Netflix changed the game and the rug could be cut from under them at any moment. I do feel like people want to be social, so they do want to go out. So there is that. element at least. And for the time being, people like looking up and seeing somebody with headphones on telling them what music to play. Even though they may come up and ask for some requests, overall, it's warm blanket of assurance that that guy knows what he's doing. He's got headphones on. At least for the time being, we have that. How long that lasts, now that I can't say, and that's what I want to know from you guys below. Let me know what you guys think. And the thing is that really interesting about my channel, and it's the reason why I don't do um, reviews and tutorials about how to do stuff, is that majority of people who watch my channel are professional DJs, grown adults. We're real talk. It's like 35 to like 40 something. That's my base demographic for my channel. And everybody, for the most part, is a professional DJ or a music producer. And so this is why I feel comfortable doing these rambly question videos like this. Because honestly, I like talking to you guys and letting you know, figuring out what you guys think about this stuff. And I have friends and I talk about this stuff all the time. And I was like, I should put this on the internet. So this is the reason why this channel exists and the reason why I do like this. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and peace out.